So let me tell you how usually counseling goes for most marriage counselors and why it's not effective. A lot of times marriage counseling requires special education outside of a licensed marriage and family therapist. Now, though they are qualified, all licensed people are qualified to help families and individuals in relationships. It's not always the preferred course of study, nor do most therapists choose to deal with couples. And the reason why is because it's very difficult when you have two people in a room that are interacting and the therapist is observing them and trying to take in a lot of information, the history of each person at the same time, while they're watching the dynamic of the couple. And it's very confusing and it can be very difficult. And a lot of times what happens, in my experience, because this has happened to me, is I sit and watch the couple and they pull me into the arena. And that's why I use the methods I do now, because I'm telling you, the arena is a deadly place for relationships. That's why it shouldn't be a surprise to us that 50% of relationships, of people who get married, end up in divorce. And that's a high statistic. And I'm telling you is because as therapists, we're not telling them, we're not telling the public, you need to stay out of the arena. That is my new mantra now to couples. You cannot afford to go into the arena. And we have to have nomenclature now for premaritals, and we have to have terms used now that work, and it has to be effective in order for us to move forward with couples and really help them. If they don't want to get married, that's one thing. Don't get married. But if you want to get married and stay together, we need to get this message to you. And this is why a lot of marriage counseling statistics, why they are not successful, is because the therapist ends up in the arena watching everyone do their one of four things or a combination of the four horsemen, and then we sit and look and we'll go, wow. And then we're kind of trying to understand, and we understand that there's certainly problems and they're in the arena, but most marriage therapists are not trained to get people out of the arena. They invite them back the next week and they jump back in the arena. And they watch and they say, okay, let's practice with some I statements, and let's not be so accusatory, or tell me why you're so defensive, and all these questions. But the problem is that they're still in the arena. I was still in the arena with people. I was not telling people or making a case for, we all need to get out. And you have to practice different behaviors with your spouse. You're not practicing them. You practice them on your first 3 or 4 months when you were dating them, but you have forgotten it, and you are not practicing them now. And what happens is, in relationships, we can feel a lot of different things, and I'm talking about at a soul level, where you feel dismissed, or you feel unsatisfied, or you feel rejected, or you feel not valued or undervalued, and you feel hurt, and you feel ignored. And all these things can occur in relationships with people we love. And how we respond to those hurts at a deep level, whether we're aware of it or not, we will practice one of those four horsemen. We will, because we're defending who we are. And when we know our soul is threatened, whether we're rejected, we will respond in a way that typically is defensive, or it shows fear, or a combination of those things. And now we have proof through the Gottman's work that those four behaviors are quite common to everybody that we do them. And that's why I'm saying you have to know the nomenclature. You have to talk in terms of, call it something else, but I just call them the horsemen. And you have to realize that everyone is going to do those four things. It's not behaviors that we don't recognize or can't say will happen with certainty. They do happen with certainty. Just go look up the research of Gottman's. He's been studying this for a long time. And when it finally clicked with me you know what we're doing? We're not telling people to get out of the arena. We're just saying we have to get out of the arena no matter what. You do what you can to get out of the arena. And we need to show people how to get out of the arena and why it is better to get out of the arena. And let them experience and see how much better they feel when they are out of the arena. Not only will their spouse feel better, they will feel better. And this is a big, big message that I feel like an evangelist. I'm out there telling people this is where we need to go. This is my message now to all couples. This is where our retreats and marriage conferences need to go. If you don't go there and we're just practicing the known little tricks that therapists have, and by the way, there's only a few. Teach them I statements. Dive into the past. Help them understand their dynamics of how it connects to the way that they were related with. In some ways, even if you understand how it's related to the way you were raised and it's tied to a deeper pathology that you have, and you still remain in the arena, even though you know that, your relationship most certainly will fail if there's repeated practice of the arena horsemen and not the antidotes. And that's why I'm so big on, we can get to understanding why you ended up in the arena and why you respond this way. And that's my message, is a lot of times couples are good people. They have not wanted to be in the arena of the apocalypse horsemen. They don't want to. And they want to get out of it, but they don't always know that they are out of it. They may practice some things a little bit, maybe 13% of the time, but they need to practice things with certainty 100% of the times until they realize they are out of that arena and they're in the best possible way to be practicing the virtues with people and with those that they love, and to create the best environment for themselves and their spouse. That is my message, is we need to know that pathway. We need to practice it again and again. And that's why I'm doing these videos. I know they're not professional. I know they have lights, like right now I can see in my reflection, light is coming in all over the place. It's not really professionally done. And the sound probably could be better, but I'll do what I can to get the messages out. If this really rings true with you, here's what I'd like you to do, is you join in and you start, whether it's at your church, your synagogue, your parish, you hold a marriage conference. You take these principles that have been proven to be true, and take my word for it, you can help spread the message. We need to stay out of the arena. We need to practice different things. And if the marriage is already kaput, it's kaput, but maybe it can be brought back to life. Maybe you can be the message that don't just, before you seek an attorney and get a divorce, it's probably because you're really hurt, you're really frustrated, you've done everything under the sun to get out of the arena. You may not know how to do it, but let people who have gotten out of the arena show you that there is a way out before you divorce. That's really my message. That's what we got to talk about. And if you're one of those couples that have gotten out, I'm going to encourage you. You talk to your partner about it and see if you can hold a conference for people. And you get the message out that there is a way. And let's see if we can make, in 10 years, I'd love to have a goal of seeing divorce rates at 25%. Let's not see it at 50%. Let's see it on being lowered, and that the people that want to get married understand what it takes to stay married. Again, the video I said is, what would I do, or what would I say to my children before they get married if there's one thing that they can remember to do consistently, and that is not only to pray for their spouse regularly, more than their children, and there's a reason for that, but it's to continually invest in that partner of yours, continually help make them become the best version of themselves, and to continually make the bank deposits into the account of your relationship, not the account of your family, not the account of each one of your children, though those are all good things, but make them into the bank account of your spouse. And when you do that, you're making and adding at the same time. It's almost like another person's adding into the account of your family account. And that deposit's going to pay great dividends, because it's going to help your children feel solid, and they're going to see and practice, and now they're going to know how to do it with their spouse should they get married. Believe me, they're paying attention at 2nd grade. They pay attention at 6th grade. They're paying attention in junior high, and certainly in high school. Even though they seem like they're ignoring you, they are not. They're watching how you relate. They're picking up everything they can, from the way and your mannerisms, to the way you're attuned to your spouse, to how you're depositing the things that you do to your husband, or the things that you are and the gentleness you bring to your wife. They're watching that. And when they watch that, guess what they're doing? They're taking private lessons from you, how to be a wife or how to be a husband. Hope this is helpful, and help me get the word out. Bye-bye.